Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1631. It's there we go. There we go. I've got to go out in public today. Got to go out in public today, little dress up. Playing dress up today. Dress up Monday. Didn't shave though. Welcome. Boy, what a busy day. It's kind of the opposite of yesterday where I was getting down and dirty down here in the basement. It's a little bit cleaner behind me. Can't really tell. I didn't get to the counter back there, and I haven't touched this yet. So, but the floor's nice. The floor, I can walk. I can walk around. I have room to walk. So, yeah, I spent all day cleaning. Yesterday morning, I told my wife, I'm gonna take this afternoon off from live selling, and I want to get some organization done. Now, fortunately, here's where I'm like hung up. Here's where I'm hung up. I have ADD. Probably. I'm diagnosing myself with ADD. And my problem when I clean is I'm not focused, which is a pretty good symptom of ADD. What happens when I have boxes? I open them and then I go through them. Ooh. And all of a sudden, I don't get much accomplished. And that's my problem. That is a big problem I have. So what tends to happen is when I clean, I don't get anywhere. And guess what? I'm in the same position. And I probably, what happens is I run out of time and I leave it more of a mess than I started with because now I've got shit piles everywhere. So I also don't know where to start. And my wife had suggested a while back to hire like an organized company to come in. And I'm like, I finally like got to a point where I'm like, I think that's what I need to do. My wife's really good at that though. So she didn't have anything going on yesterday. In the morning, here's all right. So I'm gonna so anyway, I'll set this up and then I'll go into my real problem. Another real problem I have. So I said, I'm going to go clean. She goes, do you need help? And I said, no, because I'm also stubborn. And she's like, I don't have anything going on. I don't have anything going on. I can help you. And I'm like, well, this is why I say I don't want help, because I can't just put boxes in places because I have to go through them, which is why I'm in the predicament I'm in, because I've got to sort shit. So I'm telling her that we come down and I'm like, well, I want to do the office first. She's like a genius because here's how it all played out. So we come into the office and I'm just like, now I'm completely overwhelmed because I don't know where to start. And she's like asking questions and I'm like, no, we can't do that. No. And so finally she's like, okay, what's the room that needs the most work? And I said, the storage room, but like, that's kind of like secondary because like I work in this room and in the shipping room. But and she's like, well, how about the shipping room? And I'm like, well, I want to get the office. And she's like, okay, well, so she's a genius. So we go into we kind of like look everything over and she goes, all right. We go in the back corner of the storage room. Nice quiet corner. She's like, let's just start here. I'm like, okay. And she's like, can we consolidate this stuff? And I'm like, yeah. So we consolidate some stuff. And she's like, okay, now let's focus on this. Let's get this space. Like there's just random stuff here. Let's find a place for this stuff. And let's get this cleaned up. So I did that. And that like kind of got me in the group. Like I was still overwhelmed, but not as overwhelmed. Like I wasn't frozen. Like I get frozen. Like I freeze up like shit. So so we got that accomplished. So I'm a witch. Jeeper, 1969. 69, nice. So I had a place. So we're gonna put in this kind of corner in the storage room. We're gonna put empty boxes because I have so many empty boxes, but I also need the empty boxes also. Store the card storage boxes, not just like random, you know, Amazon boxes, which I can also use. But so we did that. So then we tackled the shipping room. Whew, the shipping room stuff. So my wife kept me in line though, because all of a sudden it's like I'm making some good progress, and then I open a shoebox and I start like sorting it, and she's like, "No, you can't do that." And I'm like, "But I don't know." So I'm also making piles to take to the storage unit, and she's like, "Don't do that. Put that on a shelf to sort later. You're gonna have a shelf for sort later." I'm like, "Okay." Then I had binders. Now this was where I did need to go through the binders because I don't want the binders to take up space in here. And there's probably only a few cards in each binder that I actually want to pull out, and the rest I'll take to the storage unit. So she's like, "Don't do that." I'm like, "I want to do this because the binders are taking up a lot of space and I want to get them out of here." And like going through the binders, it was pretty quick. So, and gosh, I probably had 50 binders, at least 50 binders, probably more. So took multiple trips up into the garage, into my car, filled my car up, took it to the storage unit yesterday afternoon. That was just from this shipping room. I haven't even touched the storage room. So yeah, making some progress. So I think I got enough out, and what Shane bought a few weeks ago opened up some shelf space where I think I can just, at least stuff that I know that still needs to be sorted, I can put on a shelf, and then anything else that's already been sorted, I can get to the storage unit. So yeah, that I didn't watch a single second of the Bears game. I had it on in this room. I had the TV on, the Bears game on, but didn't spend any time in this room until after the game. So that was my day. I found some stuff. You always find stuff when you clean. I found a few slabs, like just crappy slabs that will sell well on eBay Live. There was a Joe Montana off-brand slab in a 10. Those will do well. I mean, if it sells for $20, that's a win because I didn't even know I had it. There was a Brett Favre PSA 9, some random player PSA 10, I think. So, you know, found a few bucks there. I found a whole box of Star Wars. I think they're from 1983 with stickers. Those did well. I sold a few on eBay Live last night. Like Princess Leia sticker sold for like $12. Han Solo sold for like $5 or $6. There was a base Luke Skywalker card that sold for like $5. I found some Garbage Pail Kid refractors. Found a small pile of those. Those went for like $6 each on Live last night. So that was probably $50. So I did well just finding. Oh, the Pacific Crown Royale. These were selling like hotcakes last night. These were selling for like $5 a piece. So, and I might have to go back. I might have to go to the storage unit because there's a binder with a bunch of commons. It's like, maybe I just do a lot. So I may do some lots once I get kind of under control. So yeah. So did that. How about the Bears? I didn't even get to see the game. I was watching it on my phone. They had the lead most of the game. And I think they were down, 17-16 at the end. And then how about Cairo Santos being the hero of this year's Chicago Bears team? 7-3 Chicago Bears. And now, thank you to Philadelphia. How about the Eagles? Let's a round of applause for the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 weeks in a row, knocked down our opponents to help the Bears get into first place. Last week, the Packers. This week, last night, the Lions. So the Bears are now in sole possession. Let me repeat that. The Chicago Bears are in sole possession of first place in the NFC North. Remember a guy on YouTube saying this Chicago Bears team is going to win or is going to go into the playoffs? They're going to make the playoffs. Now, do I think they're going to win the division? No, I don't think they're going to win the division. But I do think they're going to make the playoffs, and it's at 7-3, pretty good likelihood at this point, statistically speaking. And the guy also said the Bears were going to win 11 games this year after they had gone 0-1. When they went 0-2, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do. There's Max trolling. How's second place feel looking up at the Chicago Bears? Bear down. First place, Chicago Bears. First place, Chicago Bears. Let's hear it for the Bears. Doesn't matter who we beat. Doesn't matter how many points we've scored or been scored against. All that matter is the win-loss record, and it's 7-3, better than the Green Bay Packers. Bear down, Chicago Bears. First place, Chicago Bears. Bear down, Chicago Bears. All right, let's go to the chat. Boston Smoke is here. Good morning. Peter's in the house. What's going on? Kyle is here. Good morning. The Bears. First place, Chicago Bears. Philly Joe, what's going on? Thank you, Philly. Gem City says, I was wrong about the Bears, and I am not ashamed to say it. Gem City says, where's Max? MD, he will diagnose you. Dairyland, what's going on? The video view angle is very slim compared to usual. So I think you can change it somewhere on your end. It's also why I get more viewers. Like some of the random people that pop in, it's because it's short, and shorts, like the short bring in, even though it's not a short video, brings in more viewers. So I think you can adjust it somehow on your end. I have no idea how. It just popped up on my end one day, like, hey, you can do both horizontal and vertical. I'm like, okay. It says it's recommended, so I'll do it. Low Roller Scratcher's in the house, and he says good morning. That's weird. Low Roller Scratcher coming in saying good morning. That's very unlike Low Roller Scratcher. Crypto is official in bear market. Dairyland says, sounds like you may not need my help. I might still need your help. I've got the biggest challenge is the storage room. Although I don't know. Maybe if maybe another day with my wife down here, maybe I can get it done. My Bitcoin $250K prediction wouldn't come true due to Trump tariffs. Caused the problem. Philly Joe says, Bo, what are your thoughts on timed auctions for your lives? Positive and negatives. Timed auctions. What do you mean by timed auctions? I don't know what the timed means, because all auctions are timed. Do you mean like what I time my auctions at? Jeeper 1969 says I'm a witch. Look at this guy. Look at this guy saying I'm a witch. Look at that guy. Look at that fucking guy. That guy's a fucking witch. Look at that guy. Look at that mustache on that guy. What a weirdo. Tracy, good morning. I got a lot of sale on ComC and new inventory added. Darko Lantern says we like him even if he's a witch. Leave him alone. Thank you, Darky Dark. Tracy says 1 week until Thanksgiving break. The students and I both need it. Hey. I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week. Next week is going to be a bear, man. Next week is going to be a bear. We have a full house coming. And I have 2 card shows. Madison card show Saturday, November 29th. Madison Pokemon show Sunday, November 30th. I've got Survivor Series watch along on Saturday night after the Madison card show, eBay Live. It's going to be a bear, man. And I'll do Sunday night singles. So it's going to be, I'm going to do a Black Friday eBay Live at some point. So we got people coming over Thursday. My mom and her friend are coming in. They're staying over, and then I'll do probably like a lunchtime, like early afternoon stream. And then after that, I'll go to the hotel, get things ready for the shows. Then the shows all day Saturday, come home, do the wrestling night on eBay Live. Sunday, Pokemon show. Come home, do Sunday night singles, and then Monday, Cyber Monday. Got to do something for Cyber Monday. I don't know if I will, but I do want to push the pedal to the metal because this is some good times. And my where's my sales performances? My month, I am now up 55% over last month, which is good because I had a down month comparatively speaking. I'm still down. I'm surprised by this. My quantity sold is still down over the same period last month, which is a little strange, but because I feel like I've been doing the same amount of streams as I did in October to this point, at least. And my year to date continues to rise. My year to date is now up 270%. 270% up year over year. My goal, 40%. Now, my goal, I didn't think eBay Live would come into my life, and it popped up found out that I was eligible, I guess, in March, April, I guess. So up 270%. My volume sold is up 17% over last year. My average sales price is up significantly. So I want to keep the pedal to the metal. Got my, the reason I'm in a button down, I'm meeting my accountant today. So I felt like I needed to look the part. I kind of look like an accountant today. So that'll be, it'll be both a fun conversation and a shitty conversation. Because I'm going to find out, oh shit, what did you do? What did you do? eBay Live. East Coast Tom, good morning. Gem City says you sold non-sports. I did. I sold, I found some Terminator 2 cards. One of these sold for like $3 or $4, I think. It was Sunday night was a wild night. I was expecting the reverse. I was expecting Saturday night to be wild and Sunday night to be kind of a letdown. And it was the opposite. Like Saturday night was kind of a letdown, although I did about what I expected. But I wasn't like, I ended up running cards that I wanted to save just because I had people in the room and they were bidding. I had a Luka Doncic that I bought at Dave and Adams in Manhattan. I paid $95, Prism rookie PSA 9. It sold for $252. So that makes up for some of the losses that I took. The Alonzo I paid $100 for. I paid $95 for the Alonzo. That sold for $50. The Marinos underwhelmed. I sold I bought 2 Marinos. The Marino market has crashed on me. The eBay Live Dan Marino market has crashed. Because I basically broke even on the Dan Marino rookies, which I thought those were going to be my biggest wins. I thought those would go for $75, based on previous Dan Marino sales of other rookies and other cards. My Dan Marino buyers are not there anymore. What else? The Montana I think sold. I took a small loss on Montana. The Lamine Yamal I made a little bit of money on. What else did I have out there? The Kershaw I lost a little bit of money on. But so far it's been, I mean, it's good stuff. And if I break even on stuff like that, it brings people in. Like you can. So what's fascinating about running some of this stuff is when you put a big card up. If I were to say, all right, let's throw this Gretzky rookie, my viewership would double. Because people can see like what's on if they're just scrolling around, I can see like in real time when I put a big card up, all of a sudden more and more people. When I'm running like modern football raw singles, it doesn't bring people in. But it's good filler. And when I run some big cards and some of those people stick around, they're like, oh, I'll take a Brock Bowers raw single. And it kind of lifts the market on some of that raw stuff. So I didn't intend on running that Luka. I didn't intend on running the Wilt Chamberlain tall boy. I was going to have that because I use the Jerry West tall boy PSA 6 as kind of as one of the sweet cards for last night's auctions. And I was going to use the Wilt for a future show. And it's like, all of a sudden the commons were selling for like $30, $40. And I'm like, well, shit, let's run the Wilt. So I ran the Jerry West, and then we ran the Wilt, and the Wilt ended up selling for, can't remember what it sold for, but it did better than what I was expecting. The Jerry West did, I think, about what I thought the Jerry West would do. Some of the commons undersold early, but then right as I was getting ready to run the Jerry West, those were selling for better than I expected. So all in, that was a great purchase. I still have the 74 basketball set that I'm going to run. I don't know if I'm going to run it this Wednesday or when. Next week's going to be a bitch too. So, maybe I'll save it, but I intend on buying a lot of stuff this week in Chicago. So we'll see. Gem City says it's happening. I am going to look to source more when certain people are in the room. Like, I've got buyers that when I see them pop in, it's like, hey, I know you'll like this. And if an Arnold Schwarzenegger T2, if the one person that I know is going to bid on it wins it for $1, I'm okay with that because I've got a stack of 50 of them that I found in a box that otherwise were going to go into storage. So, and then if a second person bids on it, hey, we're at $2 or $3 or $5. So that's kind of my thought process, just having stuff. It's like, okay, if this guy's in the room, do you have any non-sports? Well, this is what I have. I got some Star Wars and some Mork and Mindy, some Terminator. Like, yeah, run it. All right, let's go. Pokemon is still not going to be, we're not going to run Pokemon. Because basically the non-sport that I'm running is what I would consider junk. Like, it would go in a quarter box. Well, the Star Wars I would not put in a quarter box, but I really don't know what to do with it. But that's easy stuff that I can just like, boom, here we go. I'm not going to go out and buy like an Arnold Schwarzenegger autograph. I'm not going to go out and buy a set of Star Wars. I'm not going to go source that stuff. But if I get it in bulk, I'm sure I have more and more of it in my basement somewhere. Then I'll bring that stuff out. Now, will I, if I'm digging through random bargain boxes and I come across stuff, it's like, oh, this would be fun. Absolutely. Like the card show I was at on Saturday, the non-sport vintage, I probably should have bought some of that stuff because especially last night, I probably would have made a killing on the Beatles cards. Because I think he had them priced at $5 and he's like, everything's 50% off sticker. It's like, why don't you just change the sticker? But I know that probably takes a lot of time. So it's like $2.50 for some Beatles cards. I could probably get 10, maybe even in a night like last night, might have pushed $20 for singles like that. So maybe in the future, that's something that I do end up sourcing. Cody says, good morning. I'm surprised you were allowed to move with all the cards. So there was no, and I mentioned this yesterday, the shipping room, there was no path. There was no walking path. You had to step over boxes. Now it's a big old walk. Now it's like an actual room. It's an actual room in there. It's kind of nice. Gem City says die cut cards are cool. Max says, I didn't realize your schedule up until this weekend, 9 and 8 coming up quickly. So the Bears, to Max's point, the Bears do have a tough schedule. The Bears schedule over the last 5 weeks has been awesome for the Bears. They've been squeaking by. But they're winning, and winning is all that matters. They're 7-3 at the end of the day. It does give me pause when you play better teams, but the Lions and Packers are not who they looked like in the first 2 weeks of the season. The Lions and Packers are not. I mean, the NFC North is not a good division this year. The NFC North is not as good as what we thought it would be. And it's not because they're beating each other up. They've been exposed. The Lions are not the 52-point scoring machines that we saw against Chicago in the second week of the season. The Packers have been exposed. And they're 5-3, 5-3-1, 5-4. What are the Packers? Something like that. So the NFC North is not a strong division. It's not as strong as some of the others. So with that said, I'm not as concerned about the schedule in the division moving forward for Chicago as I was after week 2, week 3. I'm still like, yeah, this Bears, they're barely beating some bad teams, but the Lions and Packers are not as good as what we saw the first 2 weeks of the season. Like, they looked like the best teams in the NFL. Like, I think I came on here and publicly stated that I thought the Packers were the best team in the NFL after the second week of the season. Now it's like, no, they're mid, as the kids say. Dairyland Picker says probably why Max is absent this morning. There he is, but he's here. He showed his face. Literally beat absolutely nobody so far. Doesn't matter. You play the schedule, and hey, if you're 7-3, you're 7-3. How are the Cubs at the midway point? I don't know. Not 70. They didn't have a 70% winning percentage. I know that. I know that for sure. I don't think the Cubs were very good at the midway point. Now I'm curious, though. That's a good question. Let's see. All right. So just say at the 82, what were they? 82 games in. Oh, we need to see schedule and results. So let's just say right at the halfway point. So 81 games. Wow, the Cubs were 15 games above. Oh, that's right, because May, was it April and May? They were really good. No, April they were not good. They were 18-13. They were 5 games above 500 at the end of April. Then they had a really good May, 14 games above 500 at the end of May, 14 games above 500 end of June. They were 18 games above 500. So I thought I was like thinking April, May, June, but man, they had a good July. Then they were still 19 games above 500 at the end of August. They finished 22 games above 500. That can't be right. Yeah, they went 92-70. So the Cubs were better at the end of the regular season than they were at the midway point. They improved 7 games. So hey, I'll take that from the Bears. Gem City says LMAO. Did you bet a lot of money for the Bears to make the playoffs? I do not bet. I don't play skill games. I don't invest in Bitcoin. And I don't bet on sports. Max says you shouldn't have to ask that question. You know how every other position in the division is other than first. Sad. Fucking still riding 1985. LOL. Bear down, Chicago Bears. First place, Chicago Bears. Second place, Green Bay Sox. Packers, boo. Your Bears choked since you jinxed it. I'm just stating the reality. We're living in the now. We're not living in 1985. We're not living in week 2. We're not looking ahead. We're living in the now. Today, November 17th, the Bears are 7-3. They're in first place. Live in the now, man. Let's see. Let Bo be happy about his Bears. It's rare and won't last. Come on now. Live in the now. Philly Joe says half hour like last night. Oh. So I really like that. I really like that. I think I'm going to do more of this. I think it definitely paid off for people that want to bid on, like, hey, I want the Jerry West. Now, you can also counterpoint this and say, well, it doesn't keep people sticking around. I feel, and this is just my anecdotal observations over the past few auctions where I've had bigger cards where it's like, oh, I missed it. I missed the card because I didn't have a time stated. And you don't get an alert like, hey, this auction's live. Even if you do, you're probably going to be too late because it's a 10-second auction with extended bidding. So at least in this standpoint, people don't have to wait around for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, for me to run a card. It's like, hey, we're going to run this, whether I have 20 people in the room or 40 or 60 or 100 people in the room, we're going to run this Barry Sanders rookie card at 9:30 tonight. and I scrolled it across the screen. Here's the schedule. 8 o'clock, we're going to run the Bo Jackson. 8:30, we're going to run the Mickey Mantle. 9 o'clock, we're going to run the whatever. 10 o'clock, the Jerry West. So I'm probably going to do more of that. I'm probably going to do more of the staggering out of the bigger cards. That way it brings people in at those times, and hopefully on the periphery, we can get some people sticking around before and after. Max says, also, I don't want to hear anything about someone's team doing well if they didn't watch a single fucking down. I've watched 9 games of the 10. I've watched 90% of the games this year because I didn't watch yesterday's game. I can't be happy. I can't brag about the Bears being 7-3 because I was cleaning instead of watching the game. I didn't commit that time to watch the game. Fuck out of here, you fucking Packers fan. Get out of here. Bears are in first place. Cooter says your office looks marginally better. I didn't really touch the office well, I did touch the office, but you can't see. What I touched, you can't see. What I touched in here is like on the floor, just a bunch of just random shit. I found a 2-row box of inventory of eBay Live, and like, oh shit. Like I got a whole box of cards that I didn't know I had. Now, I figured I had other inventory somewhere. Like I still think I've got a box with Jordans and like a few Jordans and a few Kobe's and some random stuff. But who knows? How much money did I earn on YouTube in 2025 compared from last year? Less. I made less money. I don't know. I average like $150 a month on YouTube. It's really I'll tell you how much I make. Let's in how many hours. Let's break it down. How much money do I make a month and how many hours? Let's go into YouTube. Oh, I wonder if I'm even logged in. My phone like lost some of my passwords. Yeah, I got to sign in and I forgot my password. Can I do it from obviously I'm logged in here. YouTube. I don't even know if I'm making 150 a month anymore. Because I don't really care about YouTube anymore. YouTube's a time suck. For like the money you make, it's not worth it. For me. Might be worth it for some. For many people. But it's just not. I don't want to put my time. And I never have. Like I've had I want to hit 5,000 subscribers. Like I don't fucking care anymore. For what? A couple bucks. All right. Where's my earnings? Earn. Like Big Earn, who woke me up fucking 3 times this morning. 4 a.m., 4:15 a.m. And he woke me up at like 8, which I should get up at 8. All right. It's my I should probably switch browsers. I think it's my Chrome browser that's fucked up. Because it's not working. So last 28, it says I've made $70 in the last 28 days. So that's $70, probably 30 hours of content. Here we go. I don't know if you could hear any of that, but my computer is I don't know if it's my computer or my browser or what. It said my browser was updated, but all of a sudden now shit's just hitting the fan. I don't know if you heard any of the audio. I saw my video was down, but but I've done like $70 in the last month. That's like what, $2 an hour for my Hobby Evolution. So there you go. Which is down significantly. I was averaging probably 150 to 175 last year. Now I'm down to probably 75 this year. Let's see. Rip Merino. The Merino market is dead. The Merino market has died. Thank goodness I didn't buy all the Merino cards that were being offered up to me. Like, hey, I've got 1,000 Merino cards. Like, I don't think I need 1,000. I give you like 4. Low Roller says, wow, you sold iPhone 13 in your eBay store. Is that your iPhone? Well, it was my iPhone. It's not my iPhone anymore. This is my iPhone now. I got the new one. I got the iPhone 17, the Pro Max, and it's orange. Let's see. Low Roller says Dan Marino's still alive. He is still alive, but the market is dead. Sunflower says, just saw an interview with the head of eBay Live. Ooh, really? Where was it at? I wanna hear this. She says eBay Live is no longer in beta, highlighted the white glove service for sellers and the strategy to make it socially engaged experience. Interesting. Where did you see that? I wanna watch that. So it is. So that is hopefully it's, there have been less and less issues over the last couple of weeks. It is extremely white glove. Like, I mean, I have multiple reps in different departments that I speak with. It is like completely hands-on. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. And if I had any issues, like, I have people that I can like reach out to. Like, the negative feedbacks are not automatically getting deleted even when they should. And I just reached out and I'm like, hey, I had this. And they're like, all right, they passed me on to another guy. And it was boom, done. So it is extremely white glove service. It's awesome. The strategy to make it socially engaged experience. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So yeah, I'm curious to hear their thoughts. And I wonder I don't know who the head of eBay Live is. I've met so many different people within the live stratosphere. Like, so the thing with eBay Live, it's not like so eBay has created, like, eBay Live has its own department now. Like, it didn't previously, up until like April. There was no department for eBay Live. It was just like the redheaded stepchild tossed in the corner. They didn't have anybody, like, it was just kind of like, yeah, if I have time, I'll go. Now they have, like, I don't know how many people are under the Live umbrella. I feel like there's got to be hundreds. I mean, I've met dozens of people, just their role is specifically within eBay Live. Gem City says Star Wars is sneaky. Yeah, Princess Leia, man. People love Princess Leia. Low Roller says your run Pokemon show on eBay, so it is a huge flop for you. I don't run Pokemon on eBay. Max says typical Bears reasoning. Worry about your own team. LOL. Go Bears. 7-3. Worry about your own team, Max. Sunflower says the head of Live also said the big thing that makes eBay Live different is the buyers are looking for particular sellers instead of just scrolling from show to show. Yeah, which is good for me as a seller, is good and bad, because you do want it's twofold. You want scrollers because you want people, but you also want to hook them. So in that regard, you do want, you want to hook. So you want scrollers, but you want to hook them in also at the same time. Max says the entire league is underwhelming. Red Light says good morning. Max says, Denny, I'm over in the real stream, not the stream for Zoomers. He figured it out. Sunflower says, and they have no interest in opening the gates to unqualified sellers. Awesome. That's obviously, as a seller, that's good. Yeah, I'm very interested in hearing this. Max says the only time I miss is when I'm at a show. I'm not scared. Bo bets on himself every time he bulk buys, which I don't really bulk buy anymore. Don't bulk buy anymore. Max says just be ready when we win. Every other comment will be Packers rule. That's okay. I can take it. Low Roller says, did you watch illegally streaming since no NFL game on YouTube TV for 2 weeks? I had NFL games for 2 weeks. I had NFL games. I was not affected. Now, my college basketball, I was affected. NBA, I actually wanted to watch an NBA game recently. I had to go to my ESPN. I have ESPN app, so I could watch my Western Illinois Leathernecks. Let's see. Gundy's in the house. Good morning. Max says, get an iMac for your next computer and use Safari, easy and simple. I hate iMacs. I hate Macs. I love iPhones. I hate Macs. I don't think I want to do that. Silly Shoes in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Sunflower says Behind the Breaks was the name of the channel on YouTube. I don't sub, but it was a good watch. Interesting. All right, I want to bring that up. I'm curious who the spokesperson was from eBay Live. How eBay Live? Oh, Caroline. Okay. And she's been on another. She was on another. Wow, they just released it an hour ago. I wonder if Behind the Breaks, are they on eBay Live? I wonder. Let's see. Max says, trust me, I'm not worried about the Bears. Jody, good morning. YouTube TV shut down Disney and ABC for 2 weeks. But there's no games on Disney and ABC. Like, were there games? Were there NFL games on any of the ABC channels? Because Monday Night Football is not on ABC. ESPN doesn't have any NFL games. John Cena's final match, December 12th. Yeah, I've got some John Cena. Jody says I was about to shut down last night, and next thing I knew, I bought 2 crown cards. You hooked me. Yeah. I got more. Stay tuned. All right. Let's see. Oh, Monday Night Football is on ESPN. Okay. Well, apparently it wasn't anybody that I wanted to watch because I didn't notice it was missing. Basketball was what I missed. I missed college basketball and NBA. Only one time I think I had to go to ESPN to watch. There was Lakers Spurs was on ESPN last week. So I had to go to the ESPN app and watch that. Yeah, Monday Night Football, which whoever was playing the last 2 weeks, I didn't care. Or I was doing something else and didn't want to watch. All right, so hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. My next eBay Live will take today off. Busy day. Tomorrow, probably nighttime. Tomorrow night, we'll do eBay Live. Probably go 7 o'clock Central. So see you there. Still debating, and I've got to figure it out because I don't want to just do a 74 basketball set break with no marketing and no leadway. May hold that off for another week. So all right, have a good day. I'm off. See you tomorrow.